Hi, Cappies. How are you? Welcome back. And for those of you that are new, welcome. So this is going to be your love/relationship reading for the month of March. And the reason I'm just going to do focus on this aspect is because we have Mercury in retrograde in the sign of Pisces starting March 5th and going all the way to March 28th. So this is a long, long time to have a retrograde. And especially because it's in the sign of Pisces, a very sensitive, emotional, very caring sign. You know, there's going to be this, like, a lot of frustrations will bubble up, a lot of, unspoken truth, maybe things, the feelings that you've been repressing will start coming up for you. And finally, like, there's going to be, like, that ticking point, the point where you're like, you can't handle it anymore. Like, the feelings, they're just getting so strong that you're gonna be like, I have to say something. But be really careful in how you say it and who you say it to and when you say it, because Mercury in retrograde really, and not to sound cliche, but it brings a lot of confusion with the Pisces because it's such a sensitive sign. We often feel like there is a veil over our eyes. It's almost like we have a blindfold over us, our eyes, where it's like it's almost you're gonna have to be guided by all your other senses versus just relying on your logic, right? Because logic really during this month is out the window. There's no way to logic and rationalize things. And for you Capricorns, being such an earth sign, being so almost really stuck to a certain point of view or stuck in like a certain way of doing things, this is really going to be a challenging month for you just from that aspect alone, because you're driven by logic. And then relying on your other senses is something new and something different and something that's out of your comfort zone. So but I think it's a good thing for you. It's a good thing for you to step out of your comfort zone, because only then you learn something new about yourself, right? And it's exciting. It's really exciting to learn that you can either do something or you can't do something, because that's something more about yourself that you didn't know before, right? And also during this month too, with the retrograde, watch your technical things. When I say that, it's like your computer, your telephone, your car, and any technology related things, because they might have a little bit of a glitch happening. So don't get impatient, don't get frustrated. Know that it's just like one of those things that just happens, and I know it'll probably happen in the worst time possible, and of course as they always do. But you know what? Take the precautions, because this is happening. Take the precautions, have a plan B, just in case. And I think Capricorns are pretty good about having plan Bs, right? So please do that. Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle one more time, and then we'll start your reading, right? Okay, so I'm gonna pull cards for beginning of the month, middle of the month, and end of the month. We'll see. So for the beginning of the month, we have Two of Wands in reversed, Five of Swords, and Two of Pentacles in reversed. Well, interesting, isn't it? Well, we have two flaming of five, and both of those twos are in reversed. This clearly has to do with a partnership in your life. Has to do with some sort of a duality that you are in the midst of changing, that you in the midst of like processing and trying to decide for yourself what you want to do about that. Because with the Two of Wands, it's like on one hand you don't see a future with this partner. On another hand, there is maybe lacking passion too, but on a third point of view, like there might be like really good banter between the two of you, and that makes it really hard for you to decide. But at the same time, I feel like with the Five of Swords, it's like almost like somebody's like teasing you. I feel like gonna be like this banter that's going to be like almost kind of like, do I make this move? Do I not make this move? It's like, I feel like this partner is going to make you, it's going to tell you things you want to hear. And that's going to make it really harder for you to make the decision that you need to make. But then when we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, right? Like, I think you're done. You're going to be done waiting. You're going to be done giving them second chances. You're going to be done listening to their sweet words. And you're just going to see maybe things for what they are. But it's definitely around a relationship that you were recently probably felt like you're not on the same page, and then there started to be some sort of like disconnect between the two of you. Okay, let's see what mid of the month has in store for you after you're making this decision. We have the King of Cups in reversed. Yeah, I feel like you're going to feel a little regretful. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel like maybe it's just you know, it was just sad, feeling really sad. Or maybe some of them, maybe your partner's going to be really immature about it as well. Like, they're going to not see it your way, and they're not going to understand why you did what you did, and, you know, how you did it. Now, so we have the King of Cups in reverse. We have the King of Swords upright. And then we have the Six of Pentacles in reversed. I feel like Capricorns, we have, so the King of Cups, you have two kings. And I think this is more about having this strength, right? And I think this is about, I think this person is going to come around. I think this person is going to try to convince you to give them another chance. It's going to try to convince you that you are wrong, that you haven't heard them till the end, that you don't know how they feel, and you made a decision that was too quick and not taking in consideration how they felt. And it's, yeah, and I think it's this person that you kind of feel this disconnect with, you know, that's going to come around, but you're going to be standing strong. You're going to be like, no, this is what I want, and this is what I feel that needs to be done. But be really mindful of not letting other people meddle into your relationship at this point, because I feel like, and like, see with this lady right here, she's like listening, she's like eavesdropping, right? I feel like this is going to be a really important time to kind of like, whatever issues you're having in the relationship, kind of let them be just in your relationship. Do not air them out. Do not like tell all your friends and all the people, you know, all of your relatives. Leave them in your little you know, like unit, right? Do not take it outside of it, because once you do, I think it's gonna spread a lot of rumors, which I don't think you want right now. Right? Okay, let's see what the end of the month brings for you. We have the Two of Cups in reverse, so we have two twos so far in reversed. Okay, the Hanged Man and Nine of Cups. Well, so I feel like, you know, like you're going to be done giving them a second chance. I think you're going to be done believing all of the things that they're saying and their manipulating ways of saying things, you know, because like with the King of Wands, it's like he's the master manipulator. You know, it's somebody that is very immature, but he's using that immaturity to maybe guilt trip you into something. And like he's maybe trying to use certain like things that they know about how you would react against you, you know, and then so then for you to see how they felt, or maybe to kind of take their side, or maybe to take them back, right? But I really feel like this is going to be a love and a relationship for you. This is not a friendship. This is not really a partnership of like work relationship. This is really like more of like a very deep emotional connection. You have somebody that you felt for the past couple, maybe 2 years even, there's been a disconnect. There's been this, you're just not on the same page. You know, you don't want the same things anymore. And then that's with the Two of Cups. I think you're going to realize that, yeah, you know, like whatever's going to happen in the middle of the month, their ways of trying to trick you into getting back together with them, they're not going to work out, because you're going to be like, no, I think this is done. There's not much for me there. You know how, like, see how passionate they are, these two, and then how full that cup is? You know, it's in reverse. That is no longer happening, you know, that unfortunately that's no longer there. And then you have the Hanged Man with the Nine of Cups. I feel like it's going to be at the end of the month. I think it's going to be a period of transition for you, where you're going to really kind of want to be more single than being dating people. And I'm saying that because, like, we have the Hanged Man, which is like the card of suspension, of kind of taking a step back and reassessing things. And with the Nine of Cups in this particular deck, to me, it's more about, again, pulling away than getting into something and committing to something. Even though in the regular Rider-Waite, the Nine of Cups, it's the wish fulfillment. But I think with this one, it's like really more like really reassessing what is that you really want, really truly want, you know, versus like kind of jumping like feet first into something that might look like something you want, but might not be exactly how you want it, right? So it's really at the end of the month, you're going to be reassessing, you're going to be reevaluating relationships in general, what they mean to you, how you want them to be, where you want them to go, how you want it to develop, how you want to be treated in that relationship, you know. But let's put some clarifiers. Let's get some extra messages for you here. Because overall, I feel like, yes, this is going to be a relationship that's going to be dropped. I'm not seeing quite a separation yet, but mentally, you're going to be there. Mentally, you're going to be that this has to end. And then maybe there's a new reevaluation of it. You might get a fresh start with this person too. You know, you might, but we'll see. Let's pull some clarifiers. Okay, let's clarify the two. Why put the Two of Wands in reversed? Yeah, there's no more growth. Even though like the Empress is in upright, I feel like one of you was growing and the other one wasn't. You know, I think really you were both on two different pages, on two different levels, on two different rhythms, and it was just not working out. You weren't supporting each other anymore the way you want to support and the way you needed to be supported, right? Let's go for the Five of Swords. 10 of Swords. Yeah, I think those that tease, that kind of like the words, that the sneaky words, you know, but I think you're going to see them for what they are, even though for a while they're going to cause a little bit of sleepless nights for you, and a little bit of like you know, anxiety even, you know, but at one point you're going to be like, over it, I'm over it and I'm done with it. You know, because the 10 is really, it's the sign of completion, and with the Swords, it's like it's the end of that anxiety. And see how peaceful this person is that's laying down? He feels very peaceful. And I think you're going to be like really done with all of the things that people say, you know, and then what they're trying to say to you. Let's clarify, they're the Two of Pentacles in reversed. Ace of Swords. Interesting. So Ace of Swords, it's about not really seeing things for what they are. So maybe this is where this comes in, right? Maybe really you didn't give the person enough credit. Maybe you didn't ask them the right questions. Maybe you really didn't open up to the person. And I think maybe that's where that new fresh. So for some of you, this is about giving second chances, because when you made that decision originally, you really didn't see things for what they were, and you really didn't ask the questions, and because you were so like into your own head, into your own feelings, into the like, because Capricorn, you are a very stubborn person, like you're a very stubborn sign. So for you to see somebody else's perspective is really, really hard. And I feel like maybe you, in a way, you were not allowing yourself to open up to the other person, or because that's like, you know, the King of Cups too speaks about not being able to open up to somebody. So maybe this does have a potential to work out, but you have to open up. And then I think with the Ace of Swords in reverse, I feel like this is saying like, yeah, you dropped and you're making the decision to drop this relationship, but you really don't know yet exactly everything. When you made that decision, when you will feel like you're making that decision, it's going to be more from a point of that you kind of need to make a decision versus like, this is really what I want. Then we have the Seven of Wands clarifying the King of Cups. And like what I said earlier with the King of Cups, it's like that discussion of somebody kind of trying to convince you, you know, and I think that's where that's coming, the Seven of Wands coming in. It's somebody, it's standing their ground for what they believe in, standing their ground about their truth and what, you know, their boundaries as well. So with the King of Cups, there's different scenarios here. I feel like, so for some of you that are having issues in the relationship, maybe because you're not on the same page, or so you think you're not on the same page, this might be coming because there was not, one of you wasn't open enough with the other person, and one of you was more like on defensive mode, and maybe the other one didn't have enough boundaries set, and then those boundaries got crossed. So in the middle of the month, all of that is going to come up for you, all of it, you know, and then it's how you deal with it that I think it's going to be really important, or whether you will you know, see this relationship and its potential for what it really could be, or really get stuck in the past, or really get stuck in that you know, with the truth that you thought it is, right? Let's clarify the King of Swords, the World in reversed. I feel like this is where, you know, like that being open, because the King of Swords can be really, really cold, really, really cold, and really like not giving, very unemotionally, like emotionally unavailable, right? They're closing up, and oh my God, with the King of Cups in reverse, it's like, do not close up, Capricorns. Do not share your feelings, share your emotions, share how you feel. Don't close up. Don't be so rational all the time. Don't sometimes just go with your feelings versus your logic, you know, because like with the World in reverse, I feel like this is where you have to go with your feelings versus your logic. You know, you don't like, some people might tell you, and then like with this person like listening in the background, right? Where is she? Like right here, you know, listening of like, oh, you know, eavesdropping, and then she might be telling you something that you know, that might be going on, or like might giving you some sort of, it might be even somebody that's very jealous of your relationship, to be honest, that is trying to put a wrench in it, and then it's feeding this negative information about your partner to you, or vice versa, whatever the case might be. And this is making you like close up even more, and not being like, really not listening to your feelings, and not really giving enough of yourself to the other person. And then when you don't do, there's no equal give and take, and of course people are going to be frustrated, and they're going to be you know, by not being open up to them, they will be closing up to you, right? And then that's where the World, it's like you can't move forward, you can't, you know, there's no progress, there's no decision, there's no closure. Okay, so let's clarify the Six of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Another ace, something that is not starting yet, and it's only because there's certain things that are still left unsaid from the past. With the Six of Pentacles, it's like, and see it like an upright, she's waiting, she's ready for him. When it's in reversed, it's almost like kind of done waiting again from the things from the past. But it's almost like, I think it could be that for some of you, there's a lot of disappointment that you've brought into this relationship from your past relationships, and you letting that take hold of this relationship, and you not allowing this relationship to grow for what it is, and you're not allowing it to be passionate and to be joyful, and like maybe spark joy in you as well, because you so closed off. You know, and that really, like, I mean, of course, how is this relationship going to work if you're so closed up and then you really don't feel anything? Now, for some of you, really, this doesn't have like potential. With 2 aces in reversed and with the world in reversed, you're lacking closure, and that's what you're going through right now. You're lacking closure. There's no passion in this relationship anymore, and really, there's no more like a sense of being on the same page. So for some of you, yes, this relationship is getting to its end. And then we have the Knight of Swords clarifying the 2 of Cups. Knight of Swords is like a really aggressive, really fast moving card. When it's in reversed, it's something that is takes a little bit, like you need a little bit more attention, you know, and especially if this is like with the 2 of Cups. For some of you that will decide to break it off, I think you have to be really careful on how you approach this and how you, because the tensions are high. They're really, really high, and you're gonna just put like oil on fire, on top of fire, right? Like gasoline on fire, if you are gonna be in the upright position. If you're gonna be like, you know, like dead on and like really like, no, we're done, without any explanation. And then even if you give explanation, you're really short and really cold about it and unapologetic and unassuming your part of responsibility in it, then, you know, you actually bringing this like cycle even more into a space of not being a closure, because you approaching it from like a very selfish manner versus thinking more about the long term and like the healthy aspect of and respecting the other person. And let's clarify the Hanged Man. Why is the Hanged Man there? The Ace of Cups. Remember when I said a fresh start? I really think that this relationship has potential for some of you, not for all of you. For some of you, I think it's more about the ego. I think really at this point it's ego. It's opening up. If you open up and you allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone and let yourself feel, really feel, be in your emotions. And this is a beautiful time to do that, Capricorns. Pisces it's such a sensitive, it's such a genuine sign, and it brings that energy with it during this month. So at the end, like, you're really, really asked to suspend and really be in your feelings. Really, really stay there with your feelings, and don't scurry them away. Don't pull people away. You know, be there, like really be there with your feelings and with your emotions, and then see what what comes up for you, you know, at the end of the month, after all of this said and done. See what really comes up for you, because for some of you, if you really open up, like when you have this conversation, when you let your guard down, when you're being vulnerable, like I'm already tearing up. This is going to be a really emotional, you know, time, because really once you open up, you let your guard down, you're being vulnerable in the conversation. Oh my god, I am tearing up. When you're being vulnerable and honest with yourself and with the other person, and not just like being like really logical in, you know, approaching things from like what you think should be versus how they really are, that you might find that this relationship has a potential, and it has a new fresh start, you know. And for others of you, yes, this relationship, but you decide that this doesn't bring you anything more, and you know, you're closing it, or you're trying to close this, you know, in order for you to move forward into the new, you know. So it can play out in different ways. For some of you, it could be a new start, completely new start with a new person, and then for some of you, it can be a fresh start with the same person, but only if, and I stress this, only if you open up, being vulnerable and being open, raw, and honest with yourself and with the other person. And let's clarify the last card, 9 of Cups. The Death card. Beautiful. Well, you know, having the Ace of Cups here and then having the Death card, I kind of love those two together. I feel like your world is going to be really turned upside down at the end of the month. I think what you started with and what you thought is going to happen, it's not going to happen. things will turn out a different way, but they will turn out for you better. And then I feel like with the Death card clarifying the Nine of Cups, I think this is going to be the end of what you think through, like in a certain way of thinking of what relationships should be like, how they're like, how do you approach relationships, how you approach love to others, to yourself, how you approach being loved and giving love. You know, it's like all of that at the end of the month is really going to be big for you, and it's really going to bring a lot of those things for you. But you know, I think the major thing for you this month is really be vulnerable, really open up. Try to see, be in other people's shoes, and try not to like rush things, right? Try not to like be so like, even if you have the feeling that yes, you know what you need to do, take a step back and really go within yourself and ask how you feel about it versus what is the right thing to do, or like what is the logical thing to do, right? But ask how you feel about it. This is going to be a month where you really have to go with your feelings versus what your logic tells you. Because when you go with your logic, I feel like you're going to perpetuate the cycles, like the never-ending cycles, you know. Instead of moving forward into growth, you're going to be moving forward into a space of repeating the same old patterns, same old relationships, same old people that are going to be there to hurt you or to take advantage of you, or vice versa. So really be open and honest with yourself. And let me pull an oracle card and see one last message. I'm excited for you for the month of April. I really am. This is going to be really intriguing. It's like almost like being on suspense of what's going to happen. Okay, so let's see. Let's pull one oracle card for you, Capricorns. What is this overall theme for you for the month? Okay. To be fair. Honesty. Honesty, being raw. Be really, really raw. Go deep. Go deep within yourself. Unbury those feelings that you put like so deep down. Deal with those like traumas that you have, you know. Start dealing with them, because when you repress them even more, they're gonna come up one way or another for you sooner or later, you know. And you would rather handle them sooner than later, because the consequences of them are going to be much more like bigger and stronger than if you're dealing with them now. So be open and honest with yourself. Well, that's it for now, Capricorns. This was a really emotional one for me for some reason, and I feel like it's going to be a really emotional time for you as well. I think it's going to put you in the space of mind where you are going to feel a lot that you haven't felt before, and you're going to really feel a lot more this month than you've felt this whole year, or like even like last year. And there's going to be a lot of emotions for you this month. Well, I hope this reading resonating with you, and if you liked it and if it did resonate, please like my video. And if you want to see what's in store for you in April, subscribe to my channel. And that's it for now, Cappies. Good luck. Bye.